Tuesday, June 4th. Today is a shot day. I weighed myself this morning and it was 256.4. Last time I weighed, it was 258.2. So that's roughly a 2-pound loss in these 5 days. I've still been dealing with a lot of heart fluttering. I've been taking just a bunch of supplements. I'm trying to drink just a ton of water. It seems to be lessening, but I'm still having them, which I hate them. So I decided to cut back on my dose from 7.5. I was going to go to 10 this week, but instead I'm doing 5 milligrams. I took my shot earlier today. I did it in my left thigh this time. I did it in my left arm last time. Yeah, I think it was my left arm. One of my arms, pretty sure. Might have been my right arm. Honestly, I don't recall. One of the arms. So I did it in my left thigh, and the shot itself went fine. So I've been kind of contemplating playing around with not only the dose, but how often I am injecting. There's a website what's it called? It's called a plotter, like a half-life plotter. And you can choose between a couple different GLP-1s. You can put in the amount, milligrams that you're taking and how often you're taking. And it shows you over the course of, like I usually do 12 weeks just to kind of see where it's going to be, where theoretically the amount that's in your body is. So it shows you, the first week. I'll take a picture and I'll kind of show you what I'm talking about. But, so I'm doing 5 days, let's say. It shows when you first take it, it's going to be up here. So the first week you kind of level out, but then the second week you're basically adding to it, right? And then it just kind of levels out with hills and valleys. So I was trying to figure out, when I was taking 5 milligrams, I was not noticing the heart fluctuations, the heart flutters. So when I was doing 5 milligrams every 5 days, it ended up being, like 9 milligrams after a while on shot days, just due to the half-life amount that would be still in my system when I'm injecting. So I played with that for a long time, and I was trying to keep it so there is less peaks and valleys. I don't want it necessarily straight across the board. If I wanted it straight across the board, I'd have to inject daily, and I don't want to have to do that. So then I was going to do 5 milligrams every 4 days to keep it more at the 9 milligram level in my body. Because when I checked the 7.5 milligrams on my shot days, after a few weeks at 7.5, basically it's like 13.9 milligrams. It's what's in your system on shot days. And you're supposed to cap out at 15 milligrams with the Tirzepatide. So I thought, well, that's probably not awesome, and then if I were to go to 15 milligrams eventually, let's say, and I did stick with the 5 every 5 days, at that point, I'd have, more built up in my system. So I'd probably be looking at least 20, if not mid 20s. And I just didn't want to do that. So I was going to go 5 milligrams every 4 days, but since I am still getting the heart flutters, I decided just to do the 5 every 5 days. Quite honestly, if I had not already drawn my dose today, I wouldn't have even injected today. I would have waited 7 days after the 7.5 injection and then taken a shot. But I'd already pulled it from the vial and I didn't want to put it back in the vial. So I went ahead and took it today. I have had multiple flutters since then. It's been maybe 45 minutes. And I don't know if I would have had them anyway. I did have a fairly starch-heavy morning. I had a comment from one of you saying, lower carb could possibly help. And I know for me, it does for my regular PVCs. This does not feel like regular PVCs. It's just a weird kind of tremory, fluttery feeling. It's so flippin' weird. So I my point being, I don't know if the flutters are because I pinned today and I did the 5 milligrams, or if it had to do with more of the starches. Who knows? I'm still trying to drink water very heavily. I'm trying to have at least 2, if not 3, about this size of water a day. This is 48, I think. Let's find out. 40. This is a 40 ounce canister. So I'm trying to have a couple of those on a daily basis. I have gone to the bathroom the last couple days, so I do feel like the water is helping. I actually weighed myself yesterday, and yesterday I was 255.2. Today was 256.4. I kind of wonder if the extra water is helping. There's so many comments on so many different forums wherein people say that they're really not losing and they feel like they should be because maybe their calories are right, where people say, hey, maybe up your water intake. That helped me. So maybe with me not drinking as much water as I should have been, the extra water is really helping move things through my system. I don't know. But I might wait on my next shot. I might wait 7 days instead of 5 days if I feel like I'm still having a lot of flutters. If it's just 1 or 2 over a few days, that's fine. And like I said, I do feel like I have less. I've been having less than when I first injected the 7.5. And I did titrate up very quickly this time. When I very, very first started, I started at 2.5, did that for a couple weeks. Then I did the 5 for a few weeks, probably at least, I don't know, maybe a month and a half before going up to the 7.5. And I did not have flutters at the 7.5 before. I was having crazy sulfur burps and crazy bloating, but I did not have the heart flutters. This time, I did 1 week from starting, well, I probably had a little bit left in my system after my Hawaii trip, but basically it started at 5 for 1 week and then 2 weeks at the 7.5. It could be that my system just needed to be started a little bit more gently than I did this time. So I'm kind of playing my next shot by ear. It'll really depend on how I feel. I'm really hoping that the flutters, that they go away. It's not fun just being so hyper aware of your heart all the time. Usually you go throughout the day and you don't even think about it, just like you don't think about breathing. It's just your heart beats, you don't notice it. You breathe, you don't notice it. I am frequently aware of my heartbeat, and as a result, I'm also really aware of my breathing, because when it happens, I try to take a deep breath and hold it for a couple seconds and then exhale it. And then slow inhale, hold it for a couple seconds and exhale, just to try to ground, and yeah. So as far as the bloating, I do still have some bloat. I do still have some sulfur burps. Not as bad lately, but I think it's because I'm trying not to eat as late in the evening. I'm trying to eat earlier in the day, and maybe I just have one meal that day. And I'm trying not to eat after 4 p.m. Sometimes I still do, but I really feel like because the digestion is so much slower and delayed, that it just helps me sleep, For whatever reason, I can digest food more easily when I'm upright during the day, as opposed to lying prone in bed at night. Sleep itself has been pretty good. I don't really have any complaints there. I've been getting up roughly once a night to go to the bathroom because I'm drinking a ton of water. So that's the downside of drinking so much water, is usually if you're hydrated, but not crazily so, maybe you feel like you have to use the bathroom a little bit, but you can put it off for quite a while. Man, drinking this quantity of water, when you got to go to the bathroom, you got to go to the bathroom. It all just drains super fast. So, well, a little bit TMI. I am still dealing with my bruise from having my blood drawn last week. I bruise easily as it is. I don't give blood easily. My veins are small and they tend to roll. And I did tell her that. And she's like, oh, okay, thanks. I usually tell them to do like a butterfly needle. Did not tell her to swap it out this time. I definitely felt it because they put it in and then they kind of have to like move it a little bit. It hurt the whole time. But I didn't think it was going to bruise this badly. And it's what's the word I'm looking for? Almost mounded. I can feel what hematoma, is that what bruises are, underneath it. So I am hopeful it dissipates because it kind of hurts to the touch and I would like my veins to heal. I'm still waiting on my other products from like my Korean sunscreens. Still waiting on my devices, like my microneedling. I have some of the stuff that I want to microneedle, like the Snap 8 and the Hyaluron and some other stuff, but I actually need the devices before I can start the process, I do believe they're working on shipping at this point. Like the middleman member has it, and then they're going to ship them out to all of us individual. I think she said there was like 8,000 items altogether or something like that. So I'm really grateful that some of these members take it upon themselves to be the person where all the product is delivered to, and then they kind of, drop ship it from there. But I feel for them because that would make their house just super cluttered. But so I'm still waiting for that. The latest group buy for the Tirzepatide, that hasn't closed yet. I'm not 100% sure when I'll see that. I don't know. I'm not exercising still. I have this vibration plate downstairs that you stand on, and it's got like, 16 variations of different vibrations or how it moves or shakes or whatever. It's supposed to be good for your lymphatic system. And if you have injuries, like tendon type ligament injuries, just the vibrations and the shifting and stuff of it is supposed to help heal like 3 times faster than if you were just doing regular PT with it. So I do try to do that every day. Haven't done it today, but if nothing else, I'm kind of hoping that like open and closes the valves where they need to be open and closed, and help out a little bit. I watched, my husband was watching a movie called The Judge, as Robert Downey Jr. and Robert Duvall in it. And I thought it was a newer one because Robert Duvall was looking old, but then it looked like they had aged down Robert Downey Jr. So I was like, what? And then it turned out it was made in 2014. So it's a drama. I wouldn't have watched it on my own, but because it was on, I watched like the last, 2/3 of it or so. It was good for what it was, but I don't watch dramas typically. But it was well done. And then we watched American Assassin. After that, it's, guy loses girlfriend in a terrorist attack, and then he becomes like a vigilante looking for justice kind of a situation. This college graduate kid. It was entertaining enough, I suppose. It's very formulaic. There's nothing surprising about it. I was surprised that Michael Keaton was in it. Michael Keaton has done some questionable films lately. I don't know if he just likes to act, and so he's just accepting a lot of roles because he just likes to be out there. Much like Bruce Willis. Bruce Willis is in a ton of stuff that I feel is beneath him as an actor, but maybe they just like to act. I don't know. But Michael Keaton's in that one. So would I recommend it? No. It's not going to be life-changing. If you had roughly 2 hours, though, and you think, oh, there's some pretty people in here, sure, go for it. It's whatever. But not one that I would say that it's necessary to go right out and see. I do want to watch School for Good and Evil. That came out a while ago on Netflix. I saw it, like the movie still for it, the movie poster, but I didn't really know too much about what it was about. But I just watched a trailer for it a couple days ago, so that one looks good. I want to watch that one. I finished Ted Lasso. I was watching that one on and off for the second time. And now I just started Jane the Virgin. I've seen like the first couple of seasons, and there's 5 out. But I definitely didn't finish it. So I just started back at the beginning because I'm sure I would have forgotten a lot of the story because it's been a number of years since I started it. So Jane the Virgin, that's the movie that I have kind of going on, not necessarily in the background, but while I'm doing stuff. All right, guys. I will keep you updated with regard to the flutters. And like I said, my next pin might be 7 days instead of 5 days. I'm just really going to be playing it by ear to see how these heart flutters go. Maybe the supplements, maybe it has nothing to do with the Tirzepatide. Maybe it's all about supplements. Maybe it's a hormonal cycle thing. And menopause is effing it up. I really have no clue. So I am trying different supplements. I just added hawthorn berries into the mix yesterday. I'm already taking magnesium, potassium, vitamin D because my levels were low, vitamin E, L-cartinate, L-cartinine, I don't know, something like that. I'm taking a fish oil pill, Alaskan fish oil pill, and a B complex. So that's everything that I'm taking on the regular right now. Oh, and bromelain. Bromelain is supposed to be good for the heart. It's a digestive enzyme, but it's also supposed to be good for the heart. I have had heart stuff for years, so I have just a ton of different supplements that I take for a while. Oh, and olive leaf. Olive leaf is supposed to be good for your nervous system, your heart health. So I have a ton of stuff. Now, a lot of it's expired, and who knows how effective it still is, but I didn't want to throw it out just to buy it again, just to not take it. So if I get some effects from it, I get some effects from it. Some positive effects from it. If you guys know anything else that are supposed to be good, I guess hawthorn and hawthorn berries. It's supposed to lower your blood pressure, and I'm not sure what all else. Maybe that's something that can help my heart. Maybe it won't cause it to strain as much. I don't know. I don't have super high blood pressure, but it is probably higher than it should be when I test it. It's like, I think the last time when I got the blood drawn, the day before, it was 138 over 96 or something like that. So a little higher than it could be. So if hawthorn berries, if they help with that, I don't know, more power, right? Fingers crossed. All right, guys, I'll see you next time. Bye.